Skiti on Mount Athos was established somewhere around 1753, a dependency of Agia Pavla Monastery. Most notably, Skiti was the final dwelling place of Saint Elder Joseph the Hesychast. Now, of course, you would think a prayer book that came out of such a skete, which only houses about 40 monks, would be surprisingly uber monastic. What if I told you you've already had this prayer book, probably? What if I told you the prayer book from Skiti, available in English, is pretty much a dialed back version of that other prayer book I'm talking about? We're going to have a lot of fun going into the whys and hows of my prayer book from Skiti on Mount Athos. Let's do it. Welcome back, everybody, to Orthodox Review, the most uneducated educational program here on the internet. I'm your host, the guy with 1.5 thumbs, and as always, I am just jumping for joy that y'all are here with me today. It's truly an honor and a pleasure to continue nerding out over prayer books with y'all. And if not for my patrons and channel members and donators and all you people that are praying for me and for the show, it wouldn't happen without you. You're the reason the lights are on. You're the reason. You're the reason. The reason is you. No, glory to God, and thank God for all the support that you guys give the show. It really means the world. With that being said, this book was sent to me by a friend of the show, a personal friend of mine, actually, by the name of Sarah. Sarah is... she might be a saint. I don't know. Anyway, she suffers from some mental issues. She's on a fixed income, on her not unemployment, but disability and everything. We help each other out when we can financially, but still, in her state, she found it in her heart and her wallet to order this prayer book from me from an Etsy shop that's actually based in Greece, that sells items from Skiti. And so here it is. And before you even get into the prayer book, there will be a link below for the book. When you order from this Etsy shop, you get some myrrh from a miracle working icon in Athens. So bonus. And I gotta tell you, it only took me a week to receive this from Greece. So I don't know, man. UPS, you gotta start upping your game. At any rate, okay, so let's get into the book itself. I actually didn't feel the need to write notes on this because it's just all in my noggin. Now, first of all, I mentioned in the intro that chances are you may actually already have this prayer book and not even know it. That's because this is the prayer book that was the basis for the New Rome prayer book. Okay? Now, I say basis because, of course, the New Rome prayer book has a lot more to it than what is found in the Skiti prayer book in its simplicity, and it's just been expanded upon. But you see that the morning prayers that are found in the New Rome book are the same as are found in here, and we're going to get into that. I spoke to Father Michael from New Rome Press earlier today, briefly, but I spoke to him and I kind of picked his brain a bit about why he chose this particular prayer book to be the basis for the New Rome book. And he said that it most closely followed the cycle of the daily prayers in the Byzantine usage, in that the form that we know today as morning and evening prayers in the West, and even in the East and the Northeast, I should say, are really derived from the midnight office in Compline. Now, we can have a discussion about why things turned out the way they did. I'm actually really curious now on the development of these traditions. But that being said, this is the root of the Greek tradition. So let's get into it. It is a fairly small book. It is only 116 pages. Okay, it is a glued binding, but it's pretty solid. You'll notice that anytime you get something that's printed in Greece, it's really solid. You can see that the edges kind of go really into the spine there. So breaking this in might be a little difficult. I don't know how much I'm going to use this, only because it's more for the collection and for the show than for my personal use. So, but just looking at the thickness of the glue in the binding, I don't know if the camera's picking this up because of the light aperture, but it's pretty thick. So anyway, let's get into it. This is the 6th edition. So I don't know. I mean, this book is kind of a mystery. I'm not sure what the differences between editions would be, or if maybe this is just the 6th printing, and that's what they mean. Attendance of Priest Monk Spirit on Saint Spirit on New Skiti, Athos. There it is. Typeset, nice and bold. And what we have in here is the basics. You have a little prologue there, morning prayers, the 6 Psalms, the doxology, which comprise all of morning prayers that you find in the New Rome book. Vespers, small compline, again, same as in the New Rome. The salutations, which is the Athos hymn, the small canon, and prayers before and after meals, and the feast of the church. So really quite basic. So let's get into it. It's not the most well put together prayer book. Some monk sat down on a PC and put this together. You got some heavy pixelation of the artwork here. The typeset and fonts that you see here are reminiscent of the old Sophia Press prayer book. But again, and here's the first thing that you will see that likens it to the New Rome book. And this is one thing that no matter what prayer rule I'm reading from, I always correct it to this. And that is in the Morning Troparion. It says, through the prayers of the Theotokos, have mercy on us, which I think is a much more correct, and now we know it is a much more correct recitation of those troparia. And you see some interesting spelling choices, as English is the second language here. Psalm is spelled without the P. What you will notice throughout the book is that Psalm 50 in the morning prayers is in modern English with you and your, but throughout the rest of the book, the Psalms are in, thee, thou English, which is quite interesting. Here we have the 6 Psalms from Matins, and the reason the 6 Psalms appear here, and thank you again, Father Michael, for clearing this up for me, is because in the morning prayer rule, it should really just be Matins, but Matins is a long, very long and complex service. So when in your cell, in your room, in family situation, basic morning prayers with the 6 Psalms from Matins is fair enough. Now you got to remember, if you take the 6 Psalms and the doxology out of this, what you have is basically the regular morning prayers you would find in, say, Little Red. So it's actually just kind of a blessing to have these extra Psalms in here along with doxology, and it's the small doxology, by the way. And then you have Vespers, and again, this is arranged for individual prayer, and it's the same format you will find in the New Rome book. Man, these pages are thick, There are places in here where certain things should be added. A doxasticon, for instance, after the praises, but there's no table for that here, so at least in the New Rome book you get those. I would not recommend this book for the casual prayer doer. This is more for you collectors out there, if you're looking for a resource to compare texts with. There you have it. You have the Proclaimina for each day of the week. And then we get to small compline. And again, same format you will be familiar with. Small complement doesn't change anywhere, anytime, for any reason. Then we get through small complement. You have the Athos. So there it is. Rejoice, thou bride unwedded. After the Athos, you have, it's in here. You have the canon. Okay, so with the beginning prayers and everything. And now it's worth noting that if you were to prayer the canon with the Akathist, you would read the Akathist after the third ode. And in here, or maybe it was after the fourth. Or was it after the sixth? Now I can't remember. You've confused me. What have you done? Oh, yeah. Odes after Ode 6. I'm sorry. Because now you have the additional petitions here. The Holy Gospel, which only a priest being present would read. And then all this and into Ode 7. So if you were to read the Akathist with the canon, this is where it would go. I'll have to go back and actually look at my sources, because I remember at the monastery, it was in the books. It was in the monthly books that the canon and Akathist were put together in that way. You have some varying prayers that are read during the fast of the during mission fast, and then you have your basic prayers before meals and after meals, and then a quick fasting periods of the church, just so you know. And there it is. Not much to it. Short, sweet, and simple. Just the way we like it. It does have those nice creases in the binding to help you break it in a little bit. You see it's already kind of starting to do that if I just sit it down here. See, it's already starting to splay out. So, I mean, again, I'm not recommending this as an everyday prayer book for people that are looking for a first prayer book or anything like that. You're better off buying something domestic. I always suggest the New Room book or Little Red. But for you collectors out there that are looking to kind of expand and see where certain things come from and kind of compare the two, it's a cool one. It's not terribly expensive. The link will be below for that. Thanks again, Sarah, for all the help that you've given me over the years and for being my dear sister in Christ, no matter how crazy we get, and for hooking the show up with this awesome little addition to the library. And even my dear Father Andrew, who was over earlier, was a little bit spellbound by it. So, us being from the Slavic tradition, it's always cool to kind of take a deeper peek into the Athonite traditions. So, at any rate, there it is, and there you have it. I'll leave you all to it. Links down below. Want to support the show? Links are there too. Yeah, man, I was really excited to show you guys this, and I could really kind of ramble on about it. We could do it side by side. Maybe I'll save that for a live stream. At any rate, that's it. Keep praying for me. I'm praying for you night and day. And let's get to heaven together, all right? So on behalf of Spooky Cat, her mom, and myself, don't forget to go to church, say your prayers, and remember God. God bless.